Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast. Today I'll be making predictions on the Seattle Kraken expansion draft. In this podcast, I draft the Seattle Kraken and also make some trades and signings as well. In the expansion draft, the Seattle Kraken draft Sonny Milano from the Anaheim Ducks, Christian Fischer from the Arizona Coyotes, Nick Ritchie from the Boston Bruins, Zemgus Girgensons from the Buffalo Sabres, Jake Bean from the Carolina Hurricanes, Mark Giordano from the Calgary Flames, Nikita Zadorov from the Chicago Blackhawks, Gabriel Landeskog from the Colorado Avalanche, Max Domi from the Columbus Blue Jackets, Jamie Oleksiak from the Dallas Stars, Dennis Cholowski from the Detroit Red Wings, Juha Kara from the Edmonton Oilers, Chris Drager from the Florida Panthers, Andreas Athanasiou from the LA Kings, Kaapo Kähkönen from the Minnesota Wild, Carey Price from the Montreal Canadiens, Ryan Johansson from the Nashville Predators, Nate Bastian from the New Jersey Devils, Josh Bailey from the New York Islanders, Colin Blackwell from the New York Rangers, Chris Tierney from the Ottawa Senators, Justin Braun from the Philadelphia Flyers, Brandon Tanev from the Pittsburgh Penguins, Dylan Gambrell from the San Jose Sharks, Vince Dunn from the St. Louis Blues, Andre Palat from the Tampa Bay Lightning, Jared McCann from the Toronto Maple Leafs, Brogan Rafferty from the Vancouver Canucks, Brendan Dillon from the Washington Capitals, and Mason Appleton from the Winnipeg Jets. Check out my scouting blog at hockeywiz777scouting.com. Listen to my scouting blog podcast on anchor.fm/hockeywiz777scouting. Now the Kraken turn their attention to the 2021 NHL entry draft. In the 2021 NHL draft, the Seattle Kraken draft Matthew Beniers 2nd overall, Logan Stankoven 35th overall, Jack Barr 67th overall, Connor Lockhart 99th overall, Isaac Beliveau 131st overall, Oliver Sunny 138th overall, Zach Stringer 163rd overall, and Aku Koskinvo 195th overall. The Kraken addressed a bit of everything in this draft, drafting 3 centers, 2 defensemen, and a goalie to build up the franchise. After the draft, the Kraken need to sign up some of the UFAs they drafted. Seattle Kraken signed Gabriel Landeskog to a 7-year deal worth $7 million per season, Chris Drager to a 3-year deal worth $2.75 million per season, and Brogan Rafferty to a 2-year deal worth $750K per season. The Kraken also need to re-sign a few RFAs they drafted. Nikita Zadorov is signed to a 1-year deal worth $3 million. Vince Dunn is re-signed to a 2-year deal worth $2.5 million per season. Nick Ritchie is re-signed to a 2-year deal worth $1.75 million per season. Juha Kara is re-signed to a 2-year deal worth $1.5 million per season. Jake Bean is re-signed to a 2-year deal worth $1.1 million per season, and Dennis Cholowski is re-signed to a 2-year deal worth $925K per season. Seattle Kraken now need to make a few trades. Seattle Kraken trade Jamie Oleksiak to the Detroit Red Wings for a 5th-round pick in a sign-and trade. This trade helps solidify the left side of Detroit's defense, while the Kraken get a 5th-round pick. Jared McCann is traded to the St. Louis Blues for a 5th-round pick in 2022. If McCann scores 15-plus goals, the 5th-round pick in 2022 becomes a 4th-round pick. The trade helps the depth for St. Louis, while the Kraken gets something for McCann. Christian Fischer is traded to the Dallas Stars for Riley Tufte. The Kraken have too many right wingers at the current moment, so they trade him to the Stars for prospect Riley Tufte. Andreas Athanasiou is traded to the San Jose Sharks for a 7th-round pick in 2022 in a sign-and trade. Athanasiou doesn't really fit the mold of this Kraken team, so he is traded for a 7th-round pick. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at hockeywiz777. The Seattle Kraken placed 3 players on long-term IR: Carey Price, Zemgus Girgensons, and Sonny Milano. This leaves the Kraken with about $12.8 million in cap space left to go out and sign players. Seattle Kraken signed Cedric Paquette to a 2-year deal worth $1.35 million per season, and Tyler Ennis to a 1-year deal worth $750K in free agency. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel at Lucas Aoyang. This is how the final roster looks like. The first line is Gabriel Landeskog, Ryan Johansson, and Colin Blackwell. The second line is Andre Palat, Max Domi, and Josh Bailey. The third line is Nick Ritchie, Chris Tierney, and Brandon Tanev. The fourth line is Juha Kara, Dylan Gambrell, and Mason Appleton. The first D pair is Mark Giordano and Vince Dunn. The second D pair is Brendan Dillon and Nikita Zadorov. The third D pair is Jake Bean and Justin Braun. Goalies are Chris Drager and Kaapo Kähkönen. The spares are Dennis Cholowski, Brogan Rafferty, Cedric Paquette, Nate Bastian, and Tyler Ennis. On long-term IR, Carey Price, Zemgus Girgensons, and Sonny Milano. Top prospects, Riley Tufte, Luke Kemman, Matthew Benares, Logan Stankoven, Jack Barr, Connor Lockhart, Isaac Beliveau, Zach Stringer, and Aku Kaskanovo. The Seattle Kraken have assembled a pretty good roster that could possibly be good enough to push for a playoff spot in the weak Pacific Division.